Hey, what up, guys? Neosean coming to you for a showcase. I've had a lot of questions with some of the stuff I've uploaded lately, my production stuff. Um, so I kind of wanted to give you a rundown of the gear and how I use it. So here we are. This should answer everybody's questions that I've had. Please don't mind the mess on my desk. My laptop is a workhorse. I take it everywhere and do a lot of things with it, so it gets unhooked and rehooked up and blah blah blah. So all this stuff interchanges quite frequently. So please don't mind all the cords. Um, Over here we've got my Arteria Microfreak. It's got touch keys. It's actually really awesome with the touch keys, and then all those knobs and doodly dads that'll map to Ableton, so I can use various plugins and stuff like that. Mostly, I really like to use Arturia's Acid V with this thing. That paired with mapping the knobs, you basically have a TB. So it's pretty dope. Um, the Push 2, one of the best purchases I've ever made. Um, I got it secondhand, super cheap. I waited a long time. I've been eyeballing these on the market for like 4 years, and they were never within the price range that I wanted to pay because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stick this out. Um, I've always been told that production is ridiculously hard, and it is because it's complicated, but that's not really what I do. I've really been just kind of honing on learning everything and just jamming out. Like I've really like if that's all this becomes, I'm totally content with that. It's done everything I want it to, and I haven't even scratched the surface. I'm sure. But yeah, Ableton Push 2, one of the best purchases I've ever fucking made. Over here we got the SP404 Mark II, and this is usually my audio interface for Ableton. So it controls my ins and my outs and all that good stuff. And then this little blue wire is the headphone out from my SP. And then this follows all the way over to my FIO headphone amp. So this is so that not only I can get my IEMs a little bit louder coming out the headphones, but sometimes if I'm recording a set or something, the SP controls all volume via one knob. So I don't have a mixer control, but this allows me to keep the volume at what it needs to be recorded, but also turn it up in my headphones so that I can hear better when I'm performing live. So that's usually what I use that for. But this little guy is awesome. It's shit, what the hell is it? Alpin. Give me a sec. Yeah, it's an Alpin 2 E17K. But yeah, that's one of my better purchases too. I've had this thing for a really long time. I have another one. I'll show it to you real quick. Hold on. Sorry about the mic inconsistencies. I'm moving and I'm using a hand mic, so this is another one that I've got, and I bought this one because it's got balanced out, but it doesn't sound quite as clean as my other one, so I traditionally stick to that one. But yeah, that's all the gear. Um, got my 5590 Dell G5. It's got an RTX 2060 in it. It's about 5 years old. 32 gigs of RAM, an i7 9700 processor. Fastest SSD that Samsung makes. It's a workhorse. It fucking rules. I love this laptop. And then my 46-inch TCL that I use for a monitor. I know a lot of people say that's blasphemy to use a TV for it, especially since I do graphics and stuff, but it actually works really well for me unless I'm doing color grading. Color grading, I usually drop down to a different monitor. So, but yeah, that's the gist of it. Give me just a moment, and we'll get back into Ableton, and I'll show you guys what's up with this guy right here. All right, so here's my Ableton view, and on my push, I'm going to try and do this one-handed, by the way. Keep in mind, I've got a hand mic. um, so this is a project that I had. I deleted all my clips from it so I could use it as an example. Um, but usually when I start, I only have like maybe 2 tracks. I've usually got 2 MIDI tracks and then maybe an audio track, but I usually don't use my audio track very often unless I'm recording off of a VST plugin that I change the variables for a lot, because once you change it, it changes it for every clip. So like if you don't record it to audio, you're kind of screwed. But anyway, so I'll start off here, and like I'll pick an instrument. So just for an example, here we've got the drum kit. So I'll kick this over to note mode, and you can see the drum kit here. So usually what I'll do is I'll either start with my drums or I'll start with like a bass line or something. I'll change my fixed length. Over here you've got 1 beat, 2 beat, 1 bar, 2 bar, 4 bars, 8 bars, 16 bars, 32 bars, and then you can also freeform it. So it'll record as much as you want it to, and then as soon as you hit record again to stop it, it'll just loop all of it. It's pretty dope. But usually I start with 2 or 4 bars on drums. Let's see if I can one-hand this. So there, you got 2 bars, and just for sake of simplicity, we'll just do 4 on the floor. So usually I play these freeform, but I can't do that one-handed, and I'm trying to fly through this, so I'm not keeping you guys too long. Okay, so we'll take our kick, we'll do 4 on the floor, and there you go. So we've already got 1 clip made. For some reason, it's been putting them in the middle. This is not fun, one-handed, by the way. Okay, so I've got that 1 basic clip, and I can switch this over so I can see it on the screen. But now you can hit record again and overdub it and like add. So that was really off. Let's see if I can fix it with a quantize. Hold on. Yeah, it ain't bad. So now, like, if you guys notice, every time I hit one of these pads, it'll change, like, what my patterns are up here. This is the sequencer. But, like, let's say I don't like how loud that is. I can hold the 3 notes that I have, and then I can turn them down. So there you go. We got a basic beat. Now we'll move on to a different instrument. I don't remember what this is. Hold on. It's one of my plugins. Let me bring this up. It's Arteria Analog Lab. But I don't remember what instrument. There you go. It's an electric piano. Okay, so from here, we got our drum beat. Sometimes I use repeat on keys, because it does this cool, like, almost like a guitar picking effect. Anyway, you get the idea. So, like, what do we got this set at? It's 2 bars. We'll do 4 for keys. Okay. Wait for the metronome. All right, there you go. 2 clips made. Moving on. Moving on. I think I used this for percussion. I did. So then, after you get all your clips made, you can sit here and solo them out. You can do whatever. You can double them. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can actually take these clips and put them in other projects too if you want. But you still have to hit the pads in time. Otherwise, they don't sync up. And And I don't know if you guys can see on the screen, but like up here, it'll show you how much time is left in the sample that's running. But if you want to resync it, just hit both pads at the same time. But yeah, that's how I jam out on here. And usually by the time I'm done, I have fucking samples all the way this way, and then I have to move over and like see more samples. But a lot of people ask me if I use samples. And technically yes, but I create my own, as you see. This was a really basic example. Usually I sit here and go hard for a couple hours, just trying to critique and pick my favorite sounds, and then like finding little grooves and stuff that mesh well with the other instruments. So, but yeah, usually I lay it out where it's like drums, bass, like a background atmospheric synth or pad, and then like a lead guitar or a lead synth, and then just kind of go from there. And I'll just keep adding little nuances. A lot of the time I'll have more than one drum kit because like I like percussion from another one, and I don't want to sit here and build my own, so I'll just add them both because it takes no time for me to do that. Could I add them all into one square or one big square? Absolutely. But I tend to not do that because it's just as easy to do it the other way. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. But I just sit here and I click add device and fucking roll through all my sounds. Got drums and everything. But yeah, I'll sit here and filter through all these sounds, and once I find something that I like, I'll run with it. And that is how I do my shit. So any of the Ableton push jams that you see me do have been like this. Let me actually open up this project for real so I can show you what this actually sounds like. I put this up on my story yesterday. This is arrangement view. I don't work in here. The only reason you see anything here is because I was trying to get it recorded, and that's the only thing that I really use arrangement view for right now. Most of my stuff I just jam live and then record it in arrangement view as I'm jamming it. And I don't really edit it or anything like I probably should. But I was telling a buddy of mine this morning, the main reason for this is because I can get OCD as fuck with stuff like this. And I've definitely found that the simpler you keep it, the better. You know, like if I was actually working on an album and worried about the finished product more than, say, you know, just getting a jam out so that people can hear it, I wouldn't have a choice but to fucking work in here. But as of right now, with the way that I do my clips and stuff, I can get away with not fucking around in arrangement view. So it's beneficial to some. It's not to me. I like the live jam aspect. That's the whole reason I even jumped in this pool. So yeah, like when I'm recording whatever it is that I just made, I'll do it. I'll just hit record here and then go back to my clip view. So as you see, these are a lot fuller now. And they're all different clips that I made with those instruments that we were just playing around with. So I'll just run through these real quick just to give you an example of how each clip can be. And also I didn't tell you guys, when I'm on this view, if I hit one of these buttons over here, it does a full line. So whatever clips I have lined up in this line, it'll play them all. But I generally don't use it that way. I just do them individually with my hands and timing. So but yeah, here, let me show you. But I don't know if you guys can see on the screen. I'm sure that's really hard for you to see, but this one was like 141 beat fucking loop that I ended up recording. So sometimes this will happen, and instead of going in and like singling out different parts, it's kind of fun to just let it run in the background along with whatever other samples you have. And sometimes it comes up with magic. It's just like a cool backing. It doesn't always sync up, but sometimes it does. And on this, it worked pretty well. But I've got two pads that are like that are really long recordings. And then this one, I've got a few too. But this just goes on in different grooves for X amount of time. And then I've got a basic loop too. It's just 4 beats. And then drums, basic start, take out the kick, disco groove, build up. And that's all just a basic drum kit, but I kept my percussion over here. So I'll give you an example. There we go. And then wait for it to end and hit that one. Now we got a clap. Oh yeah, like that. So then we go to the bass line. I think those are duplicates. I need to delete that one. I think I was going to do something different with it. And then the build up. The build up bass line works with the build up drums. I'll show you. Check this out. Check this out. But then when you're ready to drop it, yeah, buddy. See, this shit is fun as fuck when you build it up like this. And there's so many possibilities. Like, this one is a small project. I just started working on this yesterday. And, yeah, like, I don't know. When you get into projects where you have, like, everything lit up, like, the possibilities are endless because you can go anywhere. And, like, if you do your shit right and they all sound good together, then you really can't go wrong with whatever combination you go with. And it's just super fun because you'll be grooving out, take out the drums, you know, and let it run for a couple bars. Maybe even change up the bass line. And then build it back up. I need to make that build up better. But as you can see, you can come up with some really cool sounds. I've really enjoyed all of this stuff, and here we are a year later after purchase, and I'm still having a fuck ton of fun. I don't play with it quite as much as I thought I would, but it's because I like to actually be in the right headspace to sit down here and do it. And so not only do I have to be motivated, but I have to like know that I'm in the right headspace to come down here and actually zone out and really have fun. I've got 40 projects now that I've saved. Not all of them are good. They're just like little grooves like this one. But that's it. That's what I've been doing with this stuff. Obviously, we've been churning out some DJ stuff too. Supa P's been joining up with me. We've been talking here the last couple days about trying to get a new mix up. So we may do another doubleheader soon. So be on the lookout for that. But Until the next time, this has been Neosean showing you my gear and what all this shit does. Also, just so you know, my microphone next to us, I didn't show you anything about that, but like obviously that can control all this stuff if I want it to as well. So like for my keys and stuff, I really like using that. But for simplicity, I just didn't show it today. I just wanted to focus on this. So that's how I do my shit. So if you guys have any more questions, please let me know. But that is the gist. Later, guys.